Yeah, it would help if I turned it on.
Yeah, that usually does the trick. And
I'm
you're
like,
supposed to be a real technical person as well.
yeah, I'm like volume at 1000% and like clicking literally everything. Whatever. What's going on, Charlie?
Good, good. Just got back from the gym and then straight into meetings and stuff.
Right
Uh,
on.
Found out today I've got no ACL ligament in
Oh.
so basically I dislocated my knee and I
Hmm.
dislocated my leg rather about just over a decade ago, about 12 years ago now.
Yeah.
And the whole below the kneecap, everything was on facing the other way. So my foot and everything was facing that way. The patella and everything was round the other side.
Hmm.
Took 3 hours to relocate. And then I couldn't walk for 3 or 4 months properly. And I went through
Wow.
loads of rehabilitation stuff. And I kept telling the doctors all the time that there's something wrong with this knee. There's something not quite right with it. Doesn't
Hmm.
seem to be doesn't seem to be growing back, like the muscles not growing back, because it completely atrophied to the point of where I could just get my thumb and forefinger around my thigh like that, around the
Yeah.
meaty bit of my thigh.
Yeah.
You know, that's skinny as hell. And I mean, it's I've got mass on it, but it's still visibly smaller than the left one. And
Hmm.
I kept telling them, look, there's something wrong with it. I think I need to have an operation. They were just like not fucking having any of it. And kept sending me to physio all the time. That didn't work. And this went on and on and on for years. And to the point I just gave up and accepted, I'm just going to have to live like this. I've not been able to run for over a decade.
Yeah.
So I can't run. I mean, I can sprint, but I can't run distance.
Hmm.
And I went to the doctor here. Within 10 minutes, he was like, yeah, your ACL ligament's completely screwed. And he grabbed my thigh and then moved the bottom half of my leg from
Can
side
you
to
feel
side.
that? Can you feel
Yeah,
that?
he was moving it from side to side like that, almost as if there's a joint that allows your leg to
Hmm.
go from side to side, not just forwards and
Yeah.
back.
Like that scene from what was it, Mr. Deeds with
Yeah,
the
yeah. And he was
yeah.
like, I can't fucking believe you're even walking around with this. And
Wow.
he was like, another 5 years of this, you would have arthritis, the
Hmm.
joint would be all fucked up.
Yeah.
So I need to go for some scans for the knee. And also, he thinks there's a problem in my lower back as well
Mm.
as a consequence of that injury. And then I'm going to have to go in for surgery, ACL
Yeah.
surgery, get a bionic knee put in.
No, that sounds awesome, but sucks at the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah,
time.
exactly.
My
Yeah.
friend, my best friend Jordan, you've met Jordan some years ago. Um,
Yeah, I can't
but
quite remember.
back,
Oh, the kid with the puppy, right? Was it the kid with
uh,
the
was it the kid with the I mean, nah, he's pretty soon went back to Hawaii. So you probably met him like very briefly.
Right, right, right.
Anyways, he tore his ACL or meniscus, one or the other, during football. Man got cleaned out by like a 400-pound Samoan, on like our
Yeah,
first
that'll do
football game, first football game, first play of the game, and well, one person hit him, side blinded him, you know, disoriented,
it.
got up. Then next thing you know, somebody else train wreck, and
Yeah.
you're just like, holy shit, big fight broke out, illegal, whatever. So yeah, I spent like the whole break, like 3 months at his house. Dude couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. But the doctor told him he needs to like start getting active and just, work out, do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Fucking sucks. I'm really not looking forward to this because I've been through it once already and it's not fucking good.
Hmm.
Because you can't walk or anything for like
Yeah.
and I know then my muscle's gonna atrophy again.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, fuck, I've even got the energy to go through this at 42.
Yeah.
But I'm still training. I'm training like MMA 3 times a week. I do strength
Yeah.
training twice a
I
week.
see you making those posts.
I'm in the gym like 5 days out of the week
Hmm.
and bodying heavyweights inside of the cage. Bodied this 300-pound Hungarian guy
Yeah, I think I saw that one. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, he had me. I was just out of the shot of the camera, but he had me up against the side of the cage.
Yeah.
I had him. I had him in a wizard lock, and he was just slamming me, like running me into the side of the cage
Mhm.
while still in this lock. And then I waited until like the third time, and I was like, I can't really take any more of this shit. So I just wrapped both of my legs around his waist, and just
Mhm.
used my body weight to bring him down.
Yeah, fight or flight.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. He was he tapped out after that.
That's awesome. No, I'm glad you're out there doing all kinds of. It's not surprising, but it is surprising that out there they're offering classes and courses and like all sorts of activities for you guys to do. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know why it's my perception or my thought process that out there in Spain they don't really got so much going on. But then I'm also like, it's not like everything in America we have everything. Like there's just that aspect of me, and I'm like, nah. Like I got friends all over the place, and like there are all sorts of things all around the world. So
Yeah, there's everything. I mean, this is like a coastal, city. So we've got everything: diving, jet skiing, the gliding off of the boats, the paragliding. We've got
yeah,
all different types of martial arts. There's everything here. There's even a ninja warrior at the gym that I go to. They've got a ninja warrior there.
yeah.
Uh, a lot of the celebrity athletes come out here to train in Marbella. It's like the place to be for that kind of stuff. There's loads of stuff,
Yeah,
diving. It's just endless amounts of
and
activity.
And just recently, I saw a post on LinkedIn talking about the digital visas in Spain um, being renewed or kicked into effect for like a 5 to 10 year plan for expats.
Okay.
Um, I think pretty much what it was saying was that people can become residents and like have flexibility to travel in the European Union. People can live and work in Spain, yeah, for up to 5 years, it says. Save and invest more. Average rent is about 1,000 euros in Barcelona and enjoy one of the most festive, fun countries in the world. So pretty much they're just welcoming expats to Spain to work remotely. And like,
Yeah, it's the digital nomad visa.
yeah, that's what it says. Digital nomad. Yeah, digital nomad is what it says right here.
Yeah,
And non-European Union nationals could work remotely,
yeah, yeah.
freelancers or employees. But you're technically a part of the European Union.
Not if I'm English. So
Gotcha.
if I'm English, then no, because
Oh,
they're out of
that
the
was
EU. But I'm not really English. I'm only like a teeny little bit English.
mhm.
And then the rest of me is Irish, Scottish. My dad's half Jamaican,
Yeah.
and then so I'm getting my Irish passport because my grandmother's Irish. So I've
Mhm.
got her birth and death certificate. I've got my mother's her birth certificate, her marriage certificate. So
Yeah, yeah,
I can now prove the lineage, from to Ireland. So then I can
yeah,
just have my Irish passport, and then I'm back in the EU. Bingo.
yeah. Right. Benefits all over the place.
Yeah.
Would that be a dual citizenship?
Yeah. I mean, it can be dual because I wouldn't be living in Ireland. I'd be living here,
Yeah,
but I'd get an Irish passport, so I'd be classified at that point an Irish resident
gotcha.
or citizen, I suppose.
Mhm.
Wouldn't really want to live in Ireland though.
Did they figure their situation out with Northern Ireland and the rest of Ireland?
Not really. There's still
Not
stuff going
really.
on. Yeah, there's still things happening.
Got
Uh,
you.
but not as bad as what it was in the 80s, during the
Oh
Troubles.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. That was when like real terrorism was occurring, people blowing
Yeah,
shit up.
the IRA.
Yeah, the IRA, that's what it was.
Yeah, they were running things over there.
Yeah, pretty awesome though.
Yeah, what
Not
brought
also.
down the IRA was a British accountant, a legal accountant
Mhm.
that basically managed to access all of the IRA's money and then stop all of their individual accounts.
Mm.
So he basically stopped the stream of money, so they couldn't do anything without that money, and
And
that's
that's
how
how it's, yeah, that's
how they
always
disabled
done.
the IRA. Yeah,
You always got to trace the money, follow the
yeah,
money.
yeah. That's how they brought them down. It wasn't through any sort of urban warfare. It
Hmm.
was just financial stuff,
Yeah,
But
right
that
on.
that same accountant discovered a massive fraud within British Parliament, and this is back in, let's say, I think it was around 2012.
Hmm.
I'll have to find it for you and send it to you. But there was a hearing in Parliament, and there was an unknown and unnamed company, and this is
Hmm.
for the purposes of this particular hearing, we'll just call them Corporation X.
Corporation X.
Yeah, and basically um, what they were suggesting is that they pay off the entire debt of the UK, and what they wanted to do then was improve all of the transportation system, the railroads, and implement the trams. We call them trams, but I think you guys call them trolleys.
Yeah,
um,
one of each.
and they wanted to do all of this with gold. And what they wanted to do is effectively launder all of this gold through the Bank of England.
Hmm.
And it turned out that Corporation X had more gold than all of the gold ever mined on the planet in history.
Wow. More than what is it, Switzerland?
Yeah, it just beats everything by
Mhm.
a country mile.
Wow.
Um, and 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 then he exposed not only what was going on, but also the people that were involved, which were
Hmm.
other politicians. And it's brilliant because they get named in this hearing, and then immediately their heads go down, and they're just the guilt is too much for them.
That was you? I don't know if that was me.
And then they just go about bullshitting their way out of it,
Hmm.
like
They
politicians.
always do.
Yeah.
They always do. Right now, I'm wrapped up on that case with the actor from Marvel, Jonathan Majors, because he just got arrested for apparently or supposedly strangling some woman, and now the all of his deals are getting cut, like with the US Army. He did like a campaign just to get more people to sign up for the military.
Oh.
Basically, the story goes, or from what I've collected from social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, is that he was drunk, and the lady that he knows, I don't know if they're in an intimate relationship or not, she got strangled. She ended up in the hospital unconscious. He ended up getting arrested. This happened 2 nights ago, I want to say. Anyways, so he's a very prominent actor. He's King the Conqueror. If you've seen Ant-Man 2 or
Seen
4, uh,
Ant-Man 2. Have I seen
or
Ant-Man 2? I think I have, yeah.
he's in Creed 3,
I've
the
not seen
boxing
Creed.
movie.
Yeah. I've not seen
Okay.
Creed. I didn't like
Um,
Creed 2, so I'm not seeing.
I didn't see
Jonathan
Creed 2. Yeah,
I'm
Jonathan Majors.
That guy with the big, huge nose.
Yeah, the big ass nose. Looks like a
Yeah.
horseshoe.
Big ass
right.
nose.
Oh, him. Right.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen his face.
Yeah, I've
The
seen
lady
it.
took her statement back.
Oh, she has.
Yeah.
Now she hasn't been strangled.
Yeah, now she apparently retracted that, and every I just noticed that like everybody was so quick to come up with a narrative for him already. I knew he wasn't shit. You got people who went to college with him who are also directors. in the industry saying, yeah, I've known the person my whole life. He's very manipulative and he's what is it? A sociopath or he's psychotic. And it's just
Right.
how, why haven't you said these things earlier on, in time? Why haven't you said any of this stuff?
Yeah.
But now that anything happens right now that this man is literally making millions upon millions of dollars, you want to say something now?
Yeah. All of a sudden,
Mhm.
as if by magic, he's now
Yeah,
associated. Yeah, I kind of zone out when I hear stuff like that. Just let the justice system deal with it, and we'll figure it out. Whether it
yeah.
was guilty or not later on.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
man, and it's Hollywood, these things literally happen all the time. Not like it's a good thing, but these things happen all the time. Um, so you honestly just don't know what the facts are. Like when you look at the whole Johnny Depp situation with his ex-wife and how everybody villainized him until he
Yeah.
pulled out his receipts and he had
Yeah.
factual evidence that he didn't do anything to that woman and it was all a ruse.
She's a crazy ass bitch by the looks of it.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. Like I know we all seen her in Aquaman.
Yeah, yeah, but she only got that role because of him. Because
She sure did.
I've not seen her in the movies at all until she started dating. And she really fucked that up for herself, didn't she? She chose like the most obscene way to kind of, like a self-defeatist way of trying to make some sort of personal financial gain from him.
Yeah, and
Why don't you just have a happy, healthy relationship, and you would have had even way more gain than that.
exactly. And I think it's because Johnny Depp used to be like, one of the bad boys of Hollywood. Him, Robert Downey Jr., Brad Pitt, and whoever else of like the 2000s. And, she essentially, yeah, she pretty much built that narrative on him. But this is Jack Sparrow we're talking about. All right,
Yeah,
little kids love this man.
you can't throw Jack Sparrow in jail. It's just not.
Exactly.
It's
So,
just not allowed, is it?
hmm
But it was proven that she edited a lot of the
yeah.
images and videos and all that kind of stuff. As like as if
hmm
that wasn't ever going to come out in court, as if they would just like overlook that and not bring in experts to analyze the footage and stuff. It was like so childish in the way that
Yeah.
she tried to do it.
Yep.
Not
Exactly.
smart at all. She just thought, as long as I play the victim, then that's all that I need to do is just
hmm
play the victim.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
cry,
yeah,
cry
that's
a few times.
that's pretty much what's happening with whoever this lady is. But I still want to whatever official statement is going to be released on to make this all conclusive. It'll be interesting. It'll be really, really, really interesting.
Yeah, he did strangle me, but I asked him to do it.
I said harder.
Yeah, yeah, and I misheard the safe word.
I forgot the safe word and
He forgot
passed
the
out.
safe word. Yeah, he's got ADHD, so he forgot, and then he kept strangling me.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah,
so
man.
okay,
What have
I
you got for
wrote up,
me?
yeah, I wrote up a little roadmap.
Do you want to screen share or anything? I can make you a co-host.
I can, but it's all out of whack. I should like
Okay, no worries.
organize this for you.
Yeah, you can just go through the rough. I'll get the general idea of it.
Got you. Um, so I got UX video courses A, and I got UX design B. So screen share. Oh, yeah, whenever you're ready to enable screen sharing.
Okay, cool. I got it. And what does UX stand for?
User experience.
User experience. All right. Well, should
Yeah,
that
and
be UE then? Just being pedantic for a second.
it was created by the co-founder at the time of
Yeah,
Apple. His name is Jacob Nielsen, or
yeah.
he uh pioneered it, I guess I should say.
Right.
Um, so during that time, you know how Apple was actually like um beloved for the term user experience or
Okay.
for their user experience in general. I wish I could make my screen bigger for
It's
you
okay.
guys.
I can just zoom in. I can zoom into each.
Okay. Yeah,
So
so
I'm
what I
looking at.
really wanted to, I just like I was talking to my robot chat GPT because I wrote everything down on my notes and I just wanted to find a way to just like kind of like streamline everything. And I actually appreciate the uses of like today's technology and how I could make it work for myself. So I
Mhm.
wrote down my plan as to how I wanted to go about executing it. And I said to, hey, go ahead and like compartmentalize this for me and put it into a step-by-step process. So it just said things like define your target audience, plan your course, create your content. Same thing for consultancy over here on the right. Um, very, very simple. So essentially what I really do want to do is I want to utilize I don't know how I hide that thing right there, but I'll do that.
Okay, let me just go through. Let me just read what you've put on this.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
this the first page here is a course, right, in UX. So
Yes, courses on
define
the left.
target. Okay, so define target audience. First step in creating courses to define your target audience. You may want to consider the following questions. Okay, so this is all AI, right? Which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. I like
Hmm.
this. What level of knowledge and experience does your audience have in UX design? What do they want to achieve by taking your course? What are their pain points and challenges in UX design? That's obviously a big one. You should always start with the pain point when you're advertising anything. How much time and money are they willing to invest in your course? Once you have a clear understanding of your target audience, you can tailor your course and content marketing messaging accordingly. Step 2, plan your course. Next, you plan your course and content and structure. You may want to consider the following: what topics. So yeah, I mean, this is like the main bulk. So this is like your main offer.
Hmm.
You couldn't just go out there and sell a course coming from obscurity. So you would have to have like a preliminary offer that was free, and
Hmm.
whether it be like a 3-day or a 5-day, some sort of challenge,
Hmm.
where you're taking everybody through like the entry level stuff. This is just like entry level basics.
Yeah.
And then after that, after they've completed the challenge, then they would graduate onto this,
Hmm.
and then they would pay for it. Have you thought about a price point?
I'm thinking between 50 to 150. Um,
$50
yeah. Um, so there's
a month?
sites.
A month?
No, not a month. So there's sites like Udemy or I'd actually say Udemy is like the most common one. It was written, I wrote it down like at the bottom down here. But Udemy does like a month by month basis sort of educational. So by the amount of viewers, not by the amount of minutes watched, you get paid. So there's Udemy and then there's Skillshare and there's YouTube, um Khan Academy, but I actually think that somewhere around like the $100, anywhere above $100 from what I see on like other people's video courses by looking at like competitors, I see that that's like a comfortable space because there's actually an abundance of other competitors who have educational videos and then like they kind of like dive in a little deeper. So within user experience, there could be interaction design, there could be research, there could be accessibility, there
Okay.
could be
And how
oh,
long would the course be? How long would it be?
mm, I'm thinking the course may total. So right here, I want to show you. If you look on this screen, I actually have lesson decks from my time at General Assembly,
Mm.
and we literally have like I don't know, my teachers just left us the whole framework of teaching user experience design. So right here we have like all sorts of resources. We have class wiki. So I can find a way to essentially compartmentalize this and turn each one into a lesson, you know? So these are PowerPoints.
Right.
And
So in terms of like weeks, just generally, how many weeks are we talking
no,
from beginning?
I'm not even thinking weeks. I'm thinking just something small. Like I'm thinking that my user base would be complete beginners. And so for someone to dedicate time into a boot camp would be a little too much. Just something that like you can something that you can digest. So say
Okay,
like
how long?
I'd say like a 10-minute video,
So
maybe 50.
how long is the course going to be for the you charging 50 to 100?
Hmm.
They opt in, and then how
Hmm.
long are they going to be studying for with you?
Um, let's say about 10 hours.
Just 10
So,
hours. It's 10 hours of content that they could effectively finish that over, let's say, 3 days, or they could spread it out over. They could do an hour a day over 10 days.
mhm,
Okay, so there's two issues here.
go for it.
The first issue is that you've got no repeat custom. So
Mhm.
if you're selling a course for $50 or $100, you're only ever going to get that $50 or $100 once. Yeah,
And it
that's
just
it.
pisses in the wind.
Yeah, then away they go.
Hmm.
So you need some kind of subscription model to be able to have repeat custom. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if a longer course, let's say we've got a 12-week course,
Hmm.
then all of a sudden we've got a 3-month lead time for when that customer would fall off. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's say for those 3 months, they're paying like 80 to $100, right, a month
Hmm.
to access the course. And then immediately after they finished that course, they would switch on to another membership, which was a smaller one that would give them access to like top up materials, maybe like a weekly webinar, something that you can just keep them entertained and keep them educated
Right.
for a length of time. So then all of a sudden we're keeping a customer for 12 weeks, and then 80 to $100, and then we're
Hmm.
keeping them from the 3 month onwards for 30-40 bucks a month. They can have this basic package where they
Hmm.
can still access materials and things like that, and maybe get some live presentations, that type of thing. Without that element to it, your business model falls flat on its face, because you're constantly relying on fresh meat all the time.
Hmm.
You got to get bodies in.
Yeah, and
That-
I'm thinking like a retention model for these individuals would be to provide some sort of like templates. So like, hey, here's like a resume template or a cover letter template, or here's like some wireflow or wireframing template for Figma or Adobe XD or Sketch. And then we can do like daily design challenges or weekly design challenges. Hey, why don't you build like a subscriber screen? Why don't you build like a profile screen? I'd honestly like to focus on visual design. Um, and I believe that that's my strong suit as a designer is the visual aesthetics, less on research, but finding ways to implement research to turn those into functional items for accomplishing business goals.
okay.
So, some sort of way that I can turn that around to boost retention for them to continue coming back to my platform or my services.
Okay. When you say coming back, how are they coming back?
I think that you're right. They definitely need to come back with like, hey, I can't finish this course in a couple of days or a couple of hours. I need to make it longer, something that, well, it's going to take more than a week. Seems like, from what I've seen on a personal website is like that I'm using myself right now to learn Premiere Pro, is that this is like a monthly subscription for like $5, $10. Um, and
How are you learning the content for $5 or $10? Do you have
um,
access to a person?
I do not have I do have access to a person if I so needed, like on demand, like hey, reaching out on Facebook or reaching out on Twitter, reaching out. Then there's like a comments
Yeah,
and
but it's not like having a person like you on a screen where you can,
Mhm.
like
Oh yeah,
In a Zoom conference, that for five or
it's
ten
indirect.
dollars a month, I can't believe for one second that that product is a comprehensive product where
Yeah.
you're really getting a lot of value for your money, and you're being kind of like led through the process by
hmm
someone. Any what we're talking about is coaching. We're talking about Maurcell as a coach
hmm
leading people through this kind of wilderness
hmm
what it takes to become
Live.
a
Oh,
UX
okay.
design
Okay.
uh, consultant, and
Yeah.
that's what's on offer. So when we're talking about how people are going to be coming back in, because really, I don't. Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I don't care
No.
about the details of the product. I really
Okay.
don't care about, especially like techie stuff, because I find it really boring.
hmm
But what I do find really interesting is the business and like how the business will work.
Yeah.
But like, not to say that like I am relatively techie. I mean, I'm a pretty accomplished web developer myself. I learned WordPress and stuff and programming chat bots, and like I've done a bunch of like techie stuff over the years.
Yeah.
But like to me, it doesn't matter like what the product is. It's just a question of like I just need to understand like the general outline of it. All of the technical things that's down to you to kind of piece together.
Mhm.
However, the framework is what I'm interested in. So how is it going to work? How are we going to get the
I
person from A to Z? How are we
mhm.
going to keep them as a customer? All right, it's all well and good keeping someone as a customer, but then what value are they going to get on that journey?
Yeah.
How are we going to get them from this price point and then switch them over to another price point? And then what value are they going to get then? Or are we going to upsell them something? And if so, what's that going to be? So what you need is a long form, sustainable business model that
Mhm.
takes someone from a relative beginner, puts them through a free boot camp,
Mhm.
then upsells them a product, which is in this case is a course. Let's say, just for argument's sake, it's a 12-week course, which I think is a good sweet spot because 3 months to keep a customer is good.
Yeah.
And then after that, then they automatically then switch over to a lower price point, or even you could upsell something. So they could have you could have two journeys at the end of that, where it's either a downsell or an upsell,
Yeah.
depending on how broke these people are. But again, like who are you dealing with? Are you dealing with like college graduates, that are not going to have a lot of money, so therefore the price point has got to be low
Yeah.
but scalable, so
No, I think I can find an audience depending on the way that I'm marketing this. I think I could find an audience overseas who actually have the time and resources to tap into this. And when you mention when you I didn't even consider that. Like live video courses like I'm teaching English or something.
yeah, it's like a
I
classroom, right?
yeah, like a
A
live
master
classroom.
class. Mm.
I I do feel more comfortable. I would feel more comfortable speaking to people live, them being able to just digest this information like actually like on demand,
Yeah.
and we can cover this whole course. So yeah, I and you're right, 12 weeks is good enough, maybe like let's say 2 hours per session, 2 hours a day, so that's 7 days a week. And then no, maybe like 5 days a week. So 10 hours in a week. And then,
But I think during that time, like the majority of that content needs to be either, visual content, slides, pre-recorded videos. Because basically what we need to do is duplicate you as many times as possible. So
right.
you can be in multiple places saying multiple things at the same time. And then the live stuff, that's like once, twice a week max, where you go through the masterclass and like, let's say every Friday, every Thursday or something like that, then you have this masterclass and then you're actually going through the content of that week. You're answering questions and people are getting the luxury of speaking to an actual person. How do I do this? How do I do that? And you're really guiding people through the process, and then people will pay for that because you're a teacher then,
Yeah.
And then you take them through the 12-week course, and then you could either then upsell or downsell. Because you don't want to lose those people after 12 weeks. You want to keep them as much as possible. And then from a sustainability aspect, talking about revenue coming into your business, there's nothing better than repeat custom. But what's better than the repeat custom is repeat custom that's just automatic. Every month it just comes out of their bank account, boom, 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 like a gym membership.
Yeah.
Whether they do the work or not, it still comes out until they cancel. And just like gym memberships, people forget about them, or go, I'll go next week or next week or next week, and then Maurcell is still getting paid.
Right.
And that's not your problem if that person's not turning up for the class or doing the coursework. That's their issue.
Yeah.
But your main focus as a business owner is to get paid and create a sustainable business model, which is the majority of it is kind of hands off. Like a hands-off business model where it's more scalable. You can.
Okay, do you want to move? So I'm not just sort of making noise.
Do I want to move?
Oh, no, we're there.
I just said it round over here. Your sister's ordering me about
Again. Well, well, at least we're not strangers here on the phone, so
yeah.
you don't have to feel like what are they doing? Yeah, I actually I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah.
It's
it's just something that's around, it's not even my idea. It's just been around, and I've kind of just adopted the idea and then put it into practice. So I know it's sustainable. I know you can make a multiple six-figure at least from doing something like that. But then when you talk about ad budgets and taking your money from an ad campaign and taking your profits and then pumping it back into your ad campaign, it's very, very, very scalable. We've made easily 200,000 a year organically without ads on a campaign like this. And we're currently bringing leads into another campaign. This is a week after.
Oh, am I still sharing my screen?
Yeah, you're still sharing it. I'm just going to send you a screenshot in Messenger. Just give me a second. So this particular campaign doesn't even start until the 10th of April. So we're just over a week, 8 days into promo. We're spending about $100 a day on ads at the moment, give or take. Definitely, in the first 3 to 4 days, we were spending $50 because there was restrictions on the ad account. But you can look at, I just sent you in Messenger. That's only after a week of promo. Look how many leads you've got.
The 5-day plant detox. Planta. Okay. So 310 members, April 10th to 15th.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by the time we get to the end of this campaign period, we're looking at about 1,000 people, 1,000 leads in that boot camp. It's free. They're doing it for 5 days and then we upsell them. 2 products at the end. So it's big business, and you know, all you need to do is change it from diet food to what you're doing, to the user experience. That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the model.
Yeah. All that would happen is, so this is just the general business model, so you can just get it into your head. And by all means, I'm recording this, so yeah, I can send you the recording so you can go back through it again.
Yeah, the model.
Yeah, they would see an ad. Hey, I'm Maurcell. Do you want to be a UX consultant? Are you struggling doing this, and this? Are you running into this problem? Well, I'm running a 3-day UX challenge to take you from where you are now into being on the road to being a UX consultant. And click the link here to join for free. Oh, there you go. Click. Obviously, we can target locations, we can target age brackets, we can target interests, we can target income. We can get really specific about all that kind of stuff. And then they click the link, they put their email in there. And then as soon as they put the email, it'll take them to a thank you page. Thanks for joining. Yay. Click the link here to join the Facebook group. They go to the Facebook group. You have a pinned post that says, introduce yourself here. You have a series of questions that they would answer. So you're stimulating people to actually interact. And then at the same time, they've just received an email to their email inbox, which then starts our email automation. And then we'll say to them, thanks for joining the challenge. This is generally what we're going to be doing. On this day, at this time, the guidebook for the challenge is going to be released. What we've found is if we give people the guidebook straight away, they go, oh, thanks very much. Free guidebook. And then they don't do it. So for retention, it's always better to release it and make it kind of like an event. Yeah. Then they download the guidebook. It's like a 30, 40 page, really nice looking digital ebook. And it takes them through the challenge. Also, inside of the challenge is going to be like an itinerary of what they'll be doing over the 3 to 5 days. I'm kind of thinking 3 days for something like this would be better. And then there's a game in it. We call it Detox Monopoly. So we've got a Monopoly board, and each square of the Monopoly board, they have to complete a task. And what these tasks usually are all geared towards interaction. So you have to post this, show us and the rest of the community that you've done this inside of the group. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And each day there's a different task, or there might be 2 or 3 tasks that they would do. And then they post that into the group. And then once everybody's completed all of those tasks, they would upload their Monopoly board into the group to say that they'd finished. And then they would attend a graduation where you would then announce a winner of a prize. So that's the incentive to do all of this, is that there's a prize at the end of the tunnel. And the prize is only available to the people that graduate. That's the catch. So, and then you would have a masterclass, take them through a bunch of slides. You could automate it or do it live. It's entirely up to you. It's kind of a little bit taxing doing it live all the time. But then you would take them through who you are, your personal journey, what you've done, maybe where you started to where you are now, all of the problems that you've managed to solve for yourself. So then automatically you then position yourself as a leader. And this is what I'm going to be doing for you now that you've completed this entry level stuff. There's no point in you staying here all day because you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be on the hamster wheel. We want to take you on this 12-week course where you're going to be learning this, and this. All very nice visual slides. You could have like key stages, climbing up a mountain, or, you can use whatever visual element you want, pieces of a jigsaw or something like that. And then you just drop the upsell. You can do my 12-week course for this, or you can do a shorter course, but it's like you're not going to get as much content for this. So you're covering 2 different price brackets. Let's say you've got $80 and then you've got 40 bucks. And then that's it. That's it. And then you just obviously all of the course content and everything would have to be in place. An app for something like that would be an ideal place to host all of this, but you could come up with something else. Can you build apps?
No, but I have a friend that works for Amazon. I have a friend that works for Walmart, and he sells his services as a software engineer. I have a person that lives out here who actually coached a few boot camps for software engineering. I'm in process of learning software engineering myself, so
Okay.
that's gonna take some time. But if I were to ask a favor from a friend, then
Yeah.
maybe they could like allot an hour maybe out
Okay.
of the day every couple
Right.
of days.
I mean, if you can build a website, then you could have a membership area in a website and start there because it's free. You don't have to pay yourself any money. It's just
Oh,
time.
and I know how to use Squarespace, and I know how to use the other competitors to Squarespace, and much like
Can you use WordPress?
I I would probably be able to like maybe do like the bare essentials for WordPress, but I also have a friend who's
You
a
gotta
WordPress
use.
expert.
Okay. So you want to focus on actual like product design and not web design, right?
Yeah, I would focus on like the visual aesthetics, the functionality, and I would then, find someone that can bring it all to life for me.
Okay. The only problem that I would envisage, as soon as you start asking friends and stuff for favors, they're never going to be as committed as what you are to your own project. You're always going to get shit, especially if they're doing it for free or cheap as part of a favor. You're always going to receive shitty work.
It's
so,
natural.
Yeah, you can teach yourself WordPress just like I did. And I'm not a web designer. Well, I am now, but I taught myself WordPress just from YouTube videos, like step by step how to build a WordPress website. I spent like 6 months learning WordPress until I became a fucking relative expert, at using.
No, and I totally believe that because that's
Yeah.
essentially how I got to where I am right now is spent too much time on YouTube and then scouring the internet for other educational resources.
Yeah. So the more that you can do, especially because you're young, I mean, the more skills you have, the better. And it doesn't really take that much time to acquire these skills. And that's not to say that you're going to make a living out of building websites. It's just to say that actually you can do it yourself, which is powerful. And also, let's say, because I know a little bit of something about everything. And when I'm sitting a meeting with a specialist, I'll know straight away whether they're bullshitting or not, which is the key thing. Because most people will say, oh, yeah, I know this, and this, and this, not knowing that I actually know exactly what they're talking about, and I'll just play dumb for the whole meeting. And then I'll know straight away whether they're full of shit or not.
Whether you should waste your time on them or not.
Wasting time and more importantly, money. Wasting money on fake gurus and stuff, fake specialists. So I would highly, highly recommend learning WordPress, which is not. I was going to say it's not hard. No, it is hard.
No, I totally on my
It's not intuitive.
On my little to-do list, my arsenal is I have JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and React. So I do fundamentally understand those coding languages, and to be able to implement that into WordPress, at least I should be able to understand it to where I can like flow through whatever video courses or
you don't have to be a coder to use WordPress. I mean, if I've ever needed any code, I've just copy and pasted it.
And that's how a lot of people do like Squarespace websites and building digital websites for other people.
And also now you've got GPT, so you can just get the robot to make you some code.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I've been using the robot, because it's just sourcing information from across the internet. It's all there, and it talks to me very much like a human being. Just got to discipline myself.
WordPress is so versatile because it's open source. You have all of these different developers always developing plugins and things like that for it. So it's really cool, but it's not intuitive. If you were to compare it to Squarespace, which I've also used, it's fucking light years. Like, how you can just move things around on Squarespace and it's really intuitive. Oh, I just want that over there. Can't fucking do that on WordPress.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it so complicated just to move this to there? Why? Why do I have to go through this massive process?
Yeah.
It's just not the same. So the amount of like shouting and swearing and throwing things around that I did, learning that was just unbelievable.
Yeah. So right now I'm currently learning to use Premiere Pro so I can actually literally edit videos and I'll be able to have some content. So this is just another Adobe product. Learning Adobe products for me comes very, very, very easy. So I should be done with that in no time. And I do live streaming, but this is only whenever I'm like playing the game. So I go on like Twitch or YouTube Live or whatever. So that making conversation with strangers and talking to people and networking, that is an underrated skill that I would definitely like to put at the top of my list.
Absolutely.
So that comes easy.
Yeah. I just sent you a link there for a launch strategy for a challenge. This is a 5-day challenge, but I mean you can shave off 2 days without an issue. Out of the two, out of like A, launching challenges, and B, being a consultant, I think you should do both. But I think the launching and running challenges and then courses is way more scalable than being a consultant.
Okay.
Because being a consultant requires you to do work which you're being paid X amount to do. Right. Therefore, you're committed to that for X amount of hours. You cannot scale it unless you were to build a company and then train other people to do these jobs, which is going to take time. Whereas on the other hand, you've got this kind of relatively hands-off, digital model that you can put in the hands of a lot more people. And, your actual work put into this, like, for instance, today I had to have a meeting with one of my clients and say, you put the prices up again and people get greedy and they get really greedy. I'm like, I want to charge X amount. Like she was trying to charge $3,000 for like a personal experience with a nutritionist and personal trainer. It's all like a digital thing where she's holding your hand through and all the recipes and the diet and the exercise and the mindset and all that kind of stuff, which is really valuable stuff. But I was like, you can't price it at like $3,000. As soon as people hear that $3,000, that's like a wrecking ball. That is just going to like shatter anything that comes after that. Nobody's going to hear. And the next price point down is like nearly $600, and even that's too high, And then the cheap package is like $47. Fair enough, but after you've just said 3,000 and then 600, no one's listening to 47. They're not listening to that. They've already got it into their heads that, oh my God, this is just way too much, and without credibility, without being in certain podcasts or magazines, without being a face that people know, you don't have enough credibility to even charge those prices. But she only works 3 hours a week on her second tier product, which she was pricing at $250. And I was like, why don't you just turn that into a membership? So rather than saying $250, you could say $80, but over a certain period of time, like a 3-month period. And then all of a sudden, it's way more palatable to the end user. And, I said, how many hours do you really spend running that second tier, because the majority of it's all automated. It's all done through an app. She does 3 hours of live masterclasses a week. And I'm just like, oh my God. What world coming to where you're complaining about working 3
Yeah.
hours, and each person's paying $80 a month. And instead of having, 50 people in there, we could have 250 or 350 people in that group, or, an endless amount of people all paying that price point. It's way more sustainable.
Yeah.
So for me, just to, just to kind of transition back to the point I'm trying to make is, if you can duplicate yourself and create a system that kind of it can work without you actually being there, or when you are there, it's for less amount of time. You've got way more freedom to do other stuff. So you can take jobs on as a consultant. Number one, you can charge way more for it. Do you know how much my fee is for consultancy for 3 months?
Anywhere around 1,500.
For 3 months? Try $100,000.
Wow. Who is that?
And people, 100 grand.
No, who's this person?
Me.
Oh, you. Oh, I thought you said Mike Pierce, and I'm like, who?
No.
Okay.
I'll to work on a project for 3 months, I'll charge $100,000. But in that space of time, I'm like unfolding like a $1 million business model.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. There was a time, and I'm still probably within this time understanding what consultancy means, because I'm like, okay, what the heck is consultancy versus me freelancing? But I actually am understanding like what people are really doing is like they're just offering their skills as a service. And like
this is way more interesting though. Like let's fast forward into the future. You've got your course. What's your next move going to be? All right, you can either be a consultant for people but charge way more now than what you usually would, because you've kind of built a name for yourself. And it's not as if I've ever had a course. I've never had a course in consultancy. I hardly ever even seek out clients. I stopped doing that a long time ago. But just the information that I give away for free to people, and if they act it out, they're already making tens of thousands. Like I changed a couple of things with my current clients' business, and at the moment I'm not really taking on clients because it's not something I really want to do. I do enjoy it.
This is a favor to me.
I do it. Well, a favor to you both, but
Your family.
But I do enjoy it. But I enjoy it with the right people. If it's just some numbskull that you're just repeating the same stuff over and over and over again, they're still not getting it. But I gave her some stuff for free. I said, look, change this, change that, do this, do that. And she did it. And she made like 10 grand in a week.
Okay.
And that's when she hired me. She says, like, I really want to hire you. Like, how much is it going to cost you? I says, well, it's going to fucking cost this, So, and take it or leave it. So
stepping in, just taking a step to the right or the left, whichever direction you will. You see my website, sellmelton.com.
Yeah.
And I only ask myself, this is my biggest question. Why am I getting turned down from companies from even making it to the interview process? Like I'm getting turnover rates, but these numbers are low. So I'm doing everything that I was taught to do, build a portfolio, contact, work, about me. I have the bare essentials, and then there's case studies. I have 4 case studies. You don't want to overwhelm whichever recruiter or whatever team or company by, wow, I have like a whole body of work. Just want to keep it small and minimal, but effective. why is it
Yeah.
not effective would be that's what I usually that's what I usually leave myself with. And it's like, why can't I, I have friends who are also like facing the same difficulties as me, not getting like
Yeah.
high turnover rates, interviews, yada yada. But then I
Yeah.
also like, you just see across LinkedIn or everywhere else on social media where someone is now interviewing with a company or they got the job. So
Yeah.
what is it that Maurcell can do? Because look, I still want to have industry experience.
And
But
it's
I also
Martha.
want to.
Can you send me the link again? Because I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
looking.
it's Cell, Cell, Melton.com.
So CE. So CELL
Yeah.
Melton.com.
Hmm.
Okay, there we go. So that's okay. Together. How come you've not got a picture of yourself at the top there?
The picture of me is on my about me.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
terms of the work, so let's take a look at. I think for me the general out, not to say that I'm an expert, but I've built a few websites.
Yeah.
The general outlay is a bit basic,
Hmm.
and then we're going to Earthly Made. Earthly Made is the thing with factory platform. Okay, methodology. So what did you analysis results? Here's the percent. So what did you actually do for this company? Because I'm
What I what I actually did for this project was I essentially built this whole web application experience. And going from the research that was implemented into it into turning that into the application itself.
okay. So I think if you could break that down a little bit more with like detailed screenshots and notes and things like that, that would be better. I also think the photo that you put
Hmm.
at the bottom is not flattering. It looks like a, dare I say it, like a sort of
No,
you're putting
say it.
out you're putting out almost like a lazy, can't be bothered image, whereas you need
Yeah.
like a more smart, kind of alert, forthcoming kind of presentation of yourself.
Hmm.
That just like kind of like you're sitting stoned on a beach or something.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, no. I, and this is the kind of, keep
Yeah.
going, keep going.
So yeah, I would say that like I'm struggling to. I mean, this again, this is not my sector, so I don't know what to look for. I don't really know what people want to see, but
From what I've captured is that they want to see lifestyle. They want to see your work put into action, hence
yeah.
the case studies. In the about, they want to see someone riding a bike or going to the beach or playing with their dogs,
That's in
family,
terms of
kids.
you. So they want like a more like realistic representation of you.
They want to
Like
see who you are away
right.
from the desk kind of thing. Or
Okay.
if who I am is me at the desk, then they want to
Yeah.
see me at the desk. I mean, I could take a picture of me at the desk if that's what they want. Um, but
Are
it
they
really comes down to selling myself. How
yeah.
can I effectively sell myself?
Yeah. So if it's like a show reel, so
Hmm.
like let's say now that I know that, like they want to see, more kind of. I'm just trying to think with the message that picture sends me. It
Hmm.
doesn't look like you're enjoying yourself at the beach. It looks like you're inebriated sitting on a deck chair at the beach.
Go on. I can see it. I can believe it because that's kind of how I felt when I took the picture.
Yeah, like I don't know what's in that cup. What's in that cup? That could be rum. It could
Let
be.
me wait, hold up. Let me go back to this. What are you looking at?
I'm looking in the project that that's
Oh,
that's called
oh
Earthly
yeah,
Made.
yeah,
The Earthly
yeah.
Made project.
Okay.
So I just think like a more like you can be at the beach, but definitely with your eyes open,
Oh
and like
yeah.
not to say that it
That's
has to be like a catalog kind of cheesy, but
hmm
just a bit more presentable. Like, does this guy sleep all day, or
Hmm.
is he meditating? Is he
Yeah.
drunk? Long Island iced tea. You know,
Could be. Yeah. The Starbucks. It was Starbucks lemonade. I remember that
you've gone
day.
into Starbucks just for a cup of ice. You add your own rum to it.
Right. Could be anything. Is this the person that we want on our team?
Yeah,
Um, and no, for me, yeah, and that's why I really do want to professionalize myself, and I want to take more professional image. First off, I'm Mr. Photographer, and I absolutely suck at taking pictures of myself. Or I look through my own catalog and I see shitty pictures of myself, and I see like half decent ones like that you saw. Um,
yeah. Do you
sure,
know any photographers that can help you?
I can network. I I now made at least a few friends out here
Yeah,
that we can go out and like maybe take some pictures. So that could be a mission of mine that
yeah,
I can do. And now that the sun is starting to come out more, it's the time to start doing that. That's um
yeah,
that's a part of the services that I kind of want to do as part of like me consulting or
yeah,
slash freelancing is being a
yeah.
photographer, and I still want to keep that ball rolling as a photographer.
Uh,
Um, that's definitely something that I want to keep going.
I like the mapper presentation.
Okay.
That instantly is like, yeah, this is really interesting to look at. You've got a
Okay.
video there. It's really
Hmm.
super interesting. Like the layout and everything, and the information there is good. You've got little
Okay.
screenshots. Are they some of the people? That's some of the mapper design teams you've got in there.
Yeah, that was actually from a research interview that we did with well, technically that person that you see right there. Nobody
Yeah.
would know. But all three of us, we were attending school together. Um but me and the girl at the top left, we were the design team, and we're interviewing that person in the bottom to
Yeah.
get some feedback on the functionality of the site.
Hmm.
So that's pretty much went down. And
Yeah.
these items that you see right here, topography, roboto, brands, colors, yada yada, that's actually a style guide that I had created for Mappa,
Yeah.
uh, that pretty much conveys this is their brand. They said that, hey, sky's the limit, Marcel, just come up with whatever you want to come up with. And sure enough, I came up with this.
Yeah.
Um, because, it just seemed like what they were shooting for was like something punchy, cyber like futuristic color scheme, because pretty much what Mappa is this Web3 metaverse game where you can interact virtual
Hmm.
world with friends, collect blocks, share and collect NFTs, or sell NFTs. All
Yeah.
of this would be a decentralized platform. Um, so we're talking about the future, Meta
Yeah.
and Facebook and all of that.
Yeah.
So, what are some ways that I can clearly convey this objective for a lot
Okay.
of individuals who are not knowledgeable of Web3 or metaverse?
Yeah.
So it was my job to come up with like an onboarding flow to teach these new users game mechanics and how to maneuver about.
Okay. Do you think the people that are looking at this with the jobs that you're applying for will be marking you on the website design, or is it just the content?
They they don't know what I'm told all the time is that it doesn't matter what I have on this case study. It doesn't matter what I made. What really comes down to it is they just want me to get straight to the point. And what I get from even looking at my own case study sometimes is information overload. And well,
Hmm.
for someone such as yourself who isn't like knowledgeable in this field, I want you, I want you to be able to just skim through this. You're not going to read every paragraph. You're not going to read, this
Yeah.
whole style guide. But I want you to be able to read the headlines. I want you to be able to skim and be like, okay, well, I'm getting a picture here. I'm
Yeah.
understanding it. And
Yeah.
that's really what I'm like asking is like, without you reading the whole thing, do you get the picture?
No, that's a difficult thing to get. It's difficult to
Gotcha.
get the pictures. I would like it like simplified and just a
Mhm.
little bit, and
Mhm.
making it, especially that first case study. It's a bit difficult to, without reading it. It's a bit difficult
Mhm.
to understand what it is that you did. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
obviously the text is there to read.
Yeah.
But as I'm scrolling through it, some of the formatting of the website could be better. There's a lot of blank space at the bottom. Also, the bar at the bottom of the website,
Mhm.
that could be nicer, could be cleaner. So
Gotcha.
there's like little finishing touches that you could put on here, even though you're not getting marks on the site. Like having
Mhm.
the site really nice, clean. Definitely having an image of you.
Yeah.
That you've introduced yourself. Marcel Melton is a user experience designer based in Seattle, Washington.
Mhm.
No picture.
No picture.
Yeah, so you need a one of those cheesy
Yeah. The generic ones.
pictures. That's what you need.
Okay. Yeah.
And then go into when it says let's work together.
Mhm.
All right, so that goes directly to a contact form, but
Mhm.
then you've not labeled your projects. So they're not like my portfolio, my projects.
Mhm.
That's not labeled. So therefore, like, what is this? And I get the idea of what it is, but it just
It needs to be there. That's
it needs to be concise and to flow well and just to have the relevant information there. And all of this, even though you're not being marked on the design, the website, the formatting, all of this gives me an idea of who Marcel is.
yeah.
Is
Yeah, so
Marcel the kind of person that crosses the T's and dots the I's? You
mhm.
know, that's what I want to know personally.
Mhm.
I can't get inside the minds of other people, but the only picture that we've got of you is of you with your eyes closed on the beach, drunk.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah, no. True that. There's also the about. If you went to the about, there's a picture of me in the, but I don't even want to showcase myself as someone with like a big ass beard. That picture's gonna go away very soon.
Yeah, and you kind of
Um,
look like a stoner in the forest.
exactly. Like, look, yeah, I've been on the fence with that picture, but it was at
Yeah,
least I wanted to post something recent, and
yeah,
at that recent time, my beard wasn't looking like that. But I prefer my beard to be either completely shaved or like this.
yeah.
Um,
But maybe a little show reel there. And what's the music about? What's that about?
oh, that's more personality. That's just, hey, press play, browse. But
Have you seen that before?
I have seen that before, and it seemed pretty interesting. I
Okay.
have a thing for doing Spotify playlists, so I'm like, okay, why not just like throw something out there?
Yeah.
But I wish like it could play throughout like the website, but that would take some
Yeah.
coding.
So maybe it says there before you speak, listen.
Hmm.
I'm just not understanding like what that's about. Now, obviously, now that you've
Yeah.
explained it, I do. But
Hmm.
like
Where do you are you telling me to stop talking?
no, no, no. I'm not telling you to stop talking. I'm just making
Oh
that
no, I meant the thingy.
before you speak, listen.
Mhm.
That you've written there doesn't tell me anything, and I'm like, well, why can't this just like random music on the website? But
Yeah.
if you was to say, I don't know, and I don't know, you could word it as like, I don't know, I'm trying to think on my feet here, but some of my favorite tunes, or more about my personality, and music taste or something like that, or word it in such a way that it kind of spells out what it is.
Hmm.
And at the moment, it's just like before you speak, listen. It's like, all right, it's kind of random.
Yeah. No, true that. Um, yeah, no, I would definitely consider like literally everything that you're saying.
Yeah, like spell it out a bit more. But by all means, like don't take all of my advice, because really I
No, what I'm
don't know
what
what I'm
I
talking about when it comes
the
to this.
lot of what I'm taking from you is from me as a designer, and like the way that I was taught is if you're gonna put something anywhere, there has to be a reasonable explanation. If me, the designer, cannot explain to you why I put that button there, then it absolutely should not be there. And it should go away, and you need to find another way, or just leave it at that. But
Mhm.
these are for any business, you're either wasting their money or you're making them money. And this is why
Yeah,
user experience is so important and why we get
yeah,
paid so much money,
yeah. And
because we're
also,
essentially building the business.
saying before you speak, listen. What does that mean? Because I'm scrolling through a website and not speaking.
Hmm.
So is that a quote that's come from somewhere, or
No, I just thought of that one on the fly.
okay?
I thought it was fitting, but now I'm like that I'm actually like it's like I'm like straight up telling someone to shut up and listen.
To me, it just strikes me as kind of being a bit random. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
it now? What is it here I'm
Hmm.
supposed to be gathering from this? And if I had a little bit more instruction as to what this was about, and
Hmm.
I go, yeah, okay, you know,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it now. He wants me to kind of enter, this is a little window into who Maurcell is,
Hmm.
a
Yeah,
little
and I need to find
porthole into
again,
the world.
yeah, and again, I just need to find I need to build more on what I currently have and clearly sell myself.
Yeah. So I think that's what needs improving is I think the general formatting, the look
Hmm.
and feel of the website, although that's not going to be a factor in terms of how people are going to judge you. They're going to judge you on that. They're going to, because it's natural to make the connection. Well,
Hmm.
if this is a little bit inconsistent, then what does that say about him?
Hmm.
So if everything's like really nice, I mean, at the end of the day, it's called user experience. So if the
Hmm.
user experience is kind of a little bit sketchy, then what message is that transmitting?
Right.
And then also, I'd like to see a lot more of you and who you are.
Hmm.
And at the moment, I'm just not seeing that. Especially that picture in the woods. That's the last thing you see before you get murdered in the woods.
Is Marcel a mountain man? I got you.
No, you just
Nah,
wake up in a refrigerator inside of a cabin.
with a sore stomach and some
Yeah.
stitches. Oh man. Now so this is what I'm piggybacking onto is these video courses with this consultancy. How am I effectively selling myself in order to get some turnover rates, in order to acquire my own user base, in order to, get these same users to keep on coming back? And this is where I find most effective is how I'm speaking towards my skill sets, how I'm speaking towards my experience, how I'm speaking to myself as a person. And I really do want to like chime in on, yeah, graphic design. I have a background in graphic design. I have a background in photography. I have a background in user experience design, and I love video games. I love, socializing and networking with people. I'm a communicator, but
Yeah,
it really seems like I'm having a poor time at communicating towards myself. And that's like what's
yeah, and
probably the
none of that
most
is on here.
frustrating.
Like being a photographer, if they
Hmm.
want if they want us to see lifestyle stuff on this presentation,
Hmm.
that should be in there. And I think we need to be led through a little bit of a story as to who you are. And I don't feel connected to you at all.
Gotcha.
I remember when we were speaking to Gia
Yeah.
and she went to school for all
Yeah.
this stuff, but they don't teach you anything.
Yeah,
They just teach you something.
yeah. Just like an alcoholic and possible serial killer /
Oh my God.
rapist that lurks in the woods.
Right. That's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right. So here's why you're not getting jobs. Found it. Eureka. We discovered the reason why.
Yeah.
Terrible. I'm telling mom.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
But in terms of getting people, in terms of developing the credibility, you're developing that credibility through this free boot camp.
Mhm.
But I'm going to show you what it is that I can do, and I can change you over this 3-day period.
Mhm.
And then after that, I'm going to upsell, and then it's not going to be crazy money, but that is a very duplicatable system. And then over the next 12 weeks, you're going to be transforming people, and then all of those individual connections with people and the value that you present to them over the period of that course.
Mhm.
If it's a good product, excuse me, then
You're fine.
people will buy from you again. People will, upsell, downsell at the end of the 12 weeks, as long as the content's good.
So yes, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Is what my brother is doing is saving businesses money? Is that what he's doing?
I wouldn't say it was saving.
As far as user experience, like he's saving businesses.
Not from an economic perspective, but I mean the user experience of a particular product, for that product to like either be presented in a better light, or the usability of it is it's nice to use. Then it's user friendly.
Because I was just wondering, I mean, if that's the
I'm
case.
sure Maurcell could answer that question way better than what I can.
Yeah, because then you can say,
as a designer.
Yeah.
As a designer, our favorite phrase is "it depends," because it does. If that's the objective, then yeah, sure. If we need to get rid of this button on whatever website or application, and it seems like it's very confusing, put it this way, it's very confusing, it's very irritating. You click the button and it's not sending you anywhere, and you're clicking and clicking and clicking, and it's still not doing anything. There's people who will get frustrated and never use this application again. You've now lost users, you've now lost money. Whereas if I make this button functional and it leads you to here's where I can buy my car, you've now earned the business more money. And
do you have like a long form mission statement for your business, or for your services, just so that like the reason as to why you do what you do, and what is it that you're trying to change about the industry, or bring to the industry? Do you have any long form piece of content? Because I find that as soon as you start talking, I'm like, shit, why isn't it in here? Why isn't that in? So you've actually got all of the answers. They're just not down on paper.
I do. And I've written a numerous amount of cover letters, and why I'm very empathetic, and why I would love to work for this company. I'm more than confident that I've written down so many of these all over the place. And there's also my own mission statement or about me on my LinkedIn. And I've just always like made iteration after iteration, taken things down, moved things into different places. But I could I'll look over all of them. And what I really like to always say is that allow me to help your business. What is it? I'd like to focus on the visual aesthetics in order for users and businesses alike to focus on their business goals rather than to focus on like the functionality of an app. That's really what I like to. I have a more technical way of me saying that, but I've written it down so many times in so many different ways.
Okay, so this leaves a very, very good opportunity to do a little bit of work, and before we meet next time.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to convince somebody else why you're so good at what you do and what is it that you're trying to bring to the industry, etc., convince yourself. That's where we need to begin. So you need to convince you why you are so good, and convince yourself what the emotional reasons as to why you do what you do. So what we need is a long form piece of content. It doesn't have to be William Shakespeare. It just needs to be, get all your ideas down. And what I'm looking for is the emotional reasons as to why you do what you do. Yeah, we need to get down to emotions, because that's why people buy stuff. They buy things because of emotions. So any really good, excuse me, any really good advertising campaign taps into, a series of emotions or one very specific key emotion, and that's what then impulses that individual to buy. So that's what we need. And as soon as we have that, that is basically the magic that is going to bring the whole business to life, or albeit the business / you being a UX consultant. Because all of that information needs to be on here, and currently it isn't.
Yeah.
So if we meet up again
I believe
next week, let's say Monday again, and then I want to hear that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to kind of rifle through all of this information, and we're going to pick out the key things. What are the key things? And as you're writing it, I want you to feel like almost like on the brink of crying, because it's that emotional. Because it has to be your truth. That's what it's going to be, and that's you have to convey your truth through your business, your truth, your individual personal truth through you as a UX consultant, and that's what people have to feel. They have to feel connected to you in some way.
Yeah, I like that, and I can definitely do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
With fake news and shit.
Please,
get some Kleenex, and go to town on have a bit of a crying session. So let it all out. Let it all out.
Don't worry, all of his clients have gone through.
Yeah, and this could be for instance, regardless of how wild something might seem. Like for instance, you could make a relationship between, your experiences as a child, and then what things you experienced then, and what hardships you experienced, and what crosses you had to bear, or the crosses that you saw other family members bearing. Why that has a direct relationship to what you want to do now in your professional life, and what lessons and wisdom you want to bring to the table, and how you want to translate that through your work. Is some powerful shit,
Yeah. No, I can definitely do that.
Yeah. So at the moment, I'm kind of feeling the product is a bit sterile, and we need to bring like the human aspect to it. But I'm fully convinced that you have all the answers, because I'm continuously hearing you talk about it. So it's there inside of you clearly. We just there's a disconnect at the moment between getting it from inside your head down on paper, down into the projects and things like that, which is a common issue. It's a common problem. How do we turn you into an artist? That's what we need to do.
Okay, I like it.
We need to start channeling all of these emotions and ideas, and convey them in such a way that really impacts people.
Okay.
Yes, I dropped the mic there.
Yeah, no, we could leave it at there. And I'll get straight to work.
This is why I make the big bucks, Maurcell.
Yeah, no. And that's what I'm here for. I need someone to tell me or see the things that I'm not seeing for myself, and it happens all too often.
Yeah. No, it's very, very common, especially when you're developing, in a professional manner. You have to wade through a lot of intricacies and a lot of issues and problems, but I suppose it helps that I've done it. I've dedicated the last 2 decades of my life doing this kind of thing. So although the subject matter is a little bit alien to me, I have to admit, I do understand some of the facets, but fundamentally the framework is the same. It's the same, regardless of what it is. We could be setting up a porn studio right now, and I'd still use the same methodology, which is
the framework.
Yeah, just the same framework.
What's the challenge for me?
Just throw some dicks and hookers in there, and you've got the recipe.
That's your product. That's your product.
Star in 5 days.
Yeah.
All you need is a couch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How to
Let's-
set up an
let's-
OnlyFans business.
Oh yeah. That actually would
Let's
sell.
UX this.
You've got the photography and the videography experience.
Oh my God. We're gonna have girls for days. How
It doesn't.
many guys? Oh my God. All bad.
I do not discriminate.
Yeah, money's money.
Oh my God.
Right.
Neighbors gonna be like, why is there a whole bunch of naked girls coming to that house?
Running a business here.
Mind your business
Yeah.
when I run my business.
Yeah, the new Hugh Hefner.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the person who owns OnlyFans is the new
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ron Jeremy Mark II.
Ew.
No, you
That
wouldn't
man
want to be
is.
Ron Jeremy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like
he's in jail.
he's in jail. Yeah, don't associate yourself with Ron Jeremy. That's bad.
Mario Brothers in jail.
Mhm. Yep.
Crazy. All right, Marcel. Well, that's good. I think we came to a beautiful conclusion there. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with next week.
Yeah, I got you. I can definitely do that, and you'll see some changes on the site as well. So
Yeah, man. All
you'll
right.
see that on the fly.
Yeah.
But okay, thank
I want
you.
to feel that connection. Definitely.
Yeah. Thanks again, you guys.
Hey,
I
no
will
problem.
be around.
Cool. All right. See you next
All
time.
right, love you, bro.
I love you guys too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love you too, Marcel.
Of course.
Oh my God.
It's all right.
All right.
It's all good. It's like that's like an Italian thing, right?
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Take it easy. No homo. All right.
Yeah.
I have to get it in there.